How do you sell digital products? It sounds like a scam. I get this all the time because a lot of the people that have jumped onto the idea of digital marketing and selling digital products in the last few years, I think really jumped onto this during the pandemic because they couldn't sort of, do their normal jobs. And so they just needed to look for a way to make money really quickly. So the idea of selling a recipe book or a fitness guide or a nutrition plan or some kind of digital product download that you could sell for $5, $10, whatever, became a really quick thing that people jumped onto. So even now you'll see a lot of people who talk about digital marketing and they're just talking to you from their house or like from their living room or their kitchen about how you can make all this money online. And that's great. Yes, it can actually work that way. But the problem is a lot of people have jumped onto this with no experience in digital marketing. They don't really understand how to work with brands. They don't really understand how to communicate the values of a brand to actually find a target market, because that's what you're doing in digital marketing. You're looking at what the product is and you're finding the different market segments that are available, and then you're communicating with each of those segments with an offer that's right for them. You kind of split up all the target market into the different segments and you deliver the right messages and the right branding to each of those segments to maximize the money that you can make from each of those. So you get the right customers coming to you to buy the product. Now, most people who are trying to sell you a digital course online or selling a recipe book or selling a fitness plan haven't got experience in doing any of that sort of stuff. So they tend to just focus on one audience, and they will tend to focus on things like, gosh, the price of groceries is really expensive right now. Wouldn't it be nice if you could make some extra money? So that always feels like a get rich quick scheme, and people are just really scammy in the way they talk about it. And also, I think a lot of the people who try this for a few months and then they don't make any money, they get really annoyed and they move on to the next thing. So their audience will see that and go, oh, you're just a scammer because you've gone from being a crypto bro to a digital marketing bro, and now you're onto something else because you're just moving through them so quickly without actually going deeper into what it is that you're trying to solve. And that's my key point here, is about if you can sell a digital product online, you can make money, but you're only going to make real money if you're solving a problem for someone because you've addressed an actual specific need that they have. And so let's make a really simple example of this, which is, say you're selling a fitness plan. Well, it's not enough just to sell a fitness plan because it's not specific. Maybe you could sell a fitness plan for people who are stay-at-home workers and they don't get to move around enough during the day, right? You've identified your target market, your segment, and you're making a fitness plan that's really simple for them, that they can squeeze into their day. They might have these little workouts they can do during the day, or they block it into their day later on. But you've specified a particular audience you can speak to sell that thing. And so, of course, you could imagine that could be a course, that could be one-on-one coaching, that could be a PDF download, whatever. So that's a digital product that you can sell, but you've identified an audience that actually needs that and has a desire. So there's demand. You're supplying a digital product, but there's demand in the market, and you're crossing over and actually making that connection. So yes, it is possible to sell products online, but you really want to be able to find a target market that is receptive to it because you're providing a solution to them. Now, unfortunately, with a lot of this digital marketing hype that's happened in the last couple of years, the only real market that you're finding is people who want to make money online, make money from home, and they think the only way to do that is to buy a digital marketing course and then sell it to other people who are also trying to make money online, and they can buy a digital marketing course and then sell it to other people. So you just get this cycle where no one's actually doing any digital marketing for brands. They're just selling the knowledge of doing digital marketing. And that's kind of the same as selling courses that teach people how to make courses, or coaching people how to become coaches. There's no actual extra work being done where you're coaching high performance executives or you're coaching people who are doing drop shipping or e-commerce. You're just coaching coaches, or you're just helping people build courses who want to build courses to teach people how to build courses. It's just like this big kind of scammy noise thing that goes on online, which I think is really frustrating. So my point is, I'm still part of this market where I'm trying to teach people how to take their skills and their experience and put it into something that has value for them and for other people. Now, you can find your own journey for what is the right thing. You might want to just create content that explains what you do. You might want to coach people one-on-one, or you might want to build a product that people can download. And it might be a free product, but it also might be a paid product. You might even want a community where you actually have this whole team of people who are doing the same things that you're interested in, and you're putting content in there all the time. You're learning from each other, and you have this collaborative approach. And I really understand what that feels like, because being a digital nomad, working by yourself, it's hard to connect with people who are on the same wavelength as you. And that's one thing that I'm really glad about from actually sharing and making making more content over the last couple of years, I've connected with so many people that I really resonate with because they're on the same content creator journey as well. They have this really interesting experience. They're trying to package it into something that's valuable, building a personal brand, and then leveraging that to sell something, either courses or coaching or, some kind of product that people can download. And so it isn't a scam. It's just the way that people talk about it sometimes is really scammy. So the key thing to do is dive into all the rest of the content that are built around this that talks you through the process of taking your knowledge and turning it into something that people can buy. You can find an audience that is relevant for you. And the biggest way that I can explain this is that I've done lots of audits of people over the last sort of year or so where I kind of find all these interesting creators online, and they might have an offer, they might be doing coaching, they might be doing a community, they might have these digital downloads. And it is overwhelming how many there are. There's just hundreds of these people who are selling these courses and selling this sort of one-on-one coaching and selling digital products. And what I realize is every single one of them has their own community of people that follow them. And sometimes there's an overlap where people follow multiple creators. But it's too difficult to try to audit every single one of those people because you don't have to do any of this perfectly. Your digital product doesn't have to be perfect. Your coaching doesn't have to be perfect. Your content creation doesn't have to be perfect because all you have to do is create something that's finished so someone can consume it and then they can decide if it's any good. And people will give you feedback for what you're putting out there into the world. They'll put comments on your videos. They might even put a rating if you're actually selling something and you have a Shopify checkout system that has the ratings that show up when people are pleased with the product they're buying. There's all these different mechanisms where people can give you feedback for what you're doing. Sometimes it's just comments and saves and shares and likes on your videos, and that will then eventually translate into something that you can deliver to people. So you will find your own path eventually of what kind of value that you can deliver to people, but you have to get really specific about solving a problem for someone, and then you can find an audience and actually sell them something. And that's not a scam. That's actually trying to be helpful and trying to find a solution for people. If you're just trying to sell the knowledge, it's not the same as getting out there and doing it. And the analogy that I would use is that you can buy a cookbook, but it's not the same as actually getting to the kitchen and making stuff. And you can make stuff in the kitchen and just do it on the fly and try to work it out as you're going, or you can follow a recipe. But at some point you had to buy that knowledge and actually use it. But making a cookbook is not the same as becoming really good at cooking. You only become really good at cooking by doing it. But once you're getting really good at it, you can also package that knowledge back into something you can sell. So make sure you absorb the knowledge, but then actually put it into something that you can offer to other people as well. And then you get this value exchange and it actually starts working really well.